Listen, you're a largely science fiction audience, so you know all about Sonic. All right, not that Sonic. Their shakes are good, maybe even great. We'll get to those in another video. Yeah, I'll pitch a video about Sonic milkshakes. They'll definitely take that video for sure. But for now, let's take a look at the 1993 animated TV series Sonic the Hedgehog, based on the hit game also called Sonic the Hedgehog, starring, yes, Sonic the Hedgehog. And in case that wasn't enough brand awareness for you, here's the show's intro to remind you.
Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive.
I get it, his name's Sonic, and he's a hedgehog, and he's the fastest thing alive. All right, I'm done. Even though he looks nothing like a real hedgehog, they don't have blue fur or long flowing hair. Unless he's actually part Navi? Solid theory. What does Reddit say? I'm just kidding, don't go there. After the popular video game burst onto the scene in 1991 on the Sega Genesis, there were numerous attempts by networks to launch a successful Sonic TV show in the 90s. There was the eponymous Sonic the Hedgehog, of course, and also The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which aired the exact same year, and then there's Sonic Underground. They don't say it that way, but I went for it. The 90s were a popular time for the blue-haired speedster. One might even call it a Sonic boom, which is, yes, the name of yet another different Sonic TV show. In fact, get out your Excel spreadsheets. There are a lot of these. But the lasting cultural impact came from Sonic SatAM, which naturally stands for Saturday AM since it appeared on ABC's Saturday Morning Kids lineup, and they couldn't come up with anything better, apparently. Yikes. Fans remember it for its surprisingly dark, edgy tone. Just look at this.
It's too late, Sonny.
Uncle Chuck? No way am I leaving you here.
Sonic, he's turned back.
That's Sonic's own uncle who's been kidnapped and transformed into an evil robot. And that's a far cry from the video game where you just, you know, run real fast and jump through power rings. Sonic SatAM may be the best remembered adaptation, but it wasn't the first. That distinction belongs to The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, produced by DiC Entertainment for ABC. It was a bonkers in-your-face slapstick comedy with so many sound effects. It was like Looney Tunes on speed. Don't do speed. ABC passed on the show asking for something that wasn't this.
Me very mad now.
Because not only was it a little nuts, it had the oddly sincere Sonic Says segments where Sonic would deliver PSAs about eating healthy, recycling, and some seriously taboo subjects.
There's nothing more cool than being hugged by someone you like. But if someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's no good.
Yes, that was really on television. DiC went back to their rooms, retooled the premise, and came up with a different show entirely. One with dense plots, complex characters, and subtly adult themes. Like environmental degradation caused by industrial pollution.
Taste that polluted air, Sniffly. Isn't it marvelous?
Yes, sir. Delightful.
Refugees and the consequences of war.
Lower Mobies.
Yeah, we escaped Robotnik's SWAT bots and built an underground city. See, there's about 30 of us.
And people getting sucked into a void of nothingness.
Safe journey, sire. You regret
That is, yes, a worse fate than watching a Sonic Says segment. Please don't cue that up.
Never, ever take medicine that isn't yours. Somebody else's prescription could be bad medicine for you.
Beyond all that, what truly set SatAM apart was its totally rad theme song. Check this out.
Sonic, he's got an attitude. Sonic, he's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive. He's the fastest thing alive.
Does Doesn't that just make you tingle all over, Dr. Robotnik? I didn't write the script. It makes me want to run a marathon or to Sonic for that milkshake. Product placement. I wasn't kidding earlier, they're great. Anyway, the series took place in the year 3235 on the planet Mobius, where Dr. Robotnik has conquered the once peaceful city of Mobotropolis and roboticized its population. Roboticizing is a recurrent theme here. It's also somebody's fetish. It's a tool used by Robotnik to capture innocent civilians or his enemies and turn them into mindless robots. He would then assimilate them into his army, just like the Borg from Star Trek, or the Cybermen from Doctor Who, or like a bunch of other things. Roboticizing is a thing in sci-fi, in case you didn't know. While Reddit may tell you that Robotnik was maybe the original Borg Queen, no. Robotnik was so evil he has no heart.
What color is my heart?
I don't say a answer.
Exactly.
With his sweet cape, deep voice, and mustache so big that it defied gravity, Robotnik was an intimidating villain who ruled with a literal iron fist. He's joined by his pet robot chicken, Cluck, and his sniveling sidekick, Stively, who nobody likes, even his own boss. Fighting against him is the show's hero, Steve Urkel. Yes, really, Jaleel White was the voice of Sonic in both SatAM and The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
That is not a dream. That is one hedgehog hunk.
Sonic, will you get serious?
Anyway, Sonic is the courageous leader of a team of freedom fighters who fight to free the city from Robotnik's rule. He's a wisecracking smart aleck who uses his power rings and super speed to run circles around the enemy. At least when he's not rocking out.
It don't take any fuel cause the rocket's in my pocket and I'm way past cool. Thank you.
Sick riff, dude. Fighting alongside him is Bunny Rabbit, who's part robot, part rabbit, and a major part badass.
After you.
There's Rotor, a walrus who invents things, but isn't a nerd because he wears his hat backwards. So 90s. Also, there's Tails, the overeager flying fox who always wants to join Sonic in battle, even though he's afraid of bedtime stories.
That wolf is nasty, huh, Bunny? Nasty as a one-eyed snake, Sugar.
And don't forget Antoine Depardieu, who's a pompous neat freak who loves to surrender. Does he eat escargot? You bet! Though often one-dimensional, he did provide many of the show's comedic moments.
You would cook escargot with margarine, but no!
Finally, there's Sally Acorn, the princess of the former kingdom and the daughter of that dude who got sucked into the void. Tough break. God damn it, who wrote this? Sally is a clever, well-rounded character who served as the team's chief strategist. She often bristled at Sonic's lack of planning and rash decisions, but that didn't stop her from crushing on her man.
You'll always be my hero, Sonic Hedgehog.
Get a room, you two. It's a cartoon. Wow. The first season was the show's darkest, though what made it so much fun were its strong relationships, political subtext, and some truly impressive action sequences. Unfortunately, season 1 received a mixed reception, so ABC executives pushed for a lighter tone in season 2 that brought about some noticeable changes. For one, Sally got a new jacket. Okay, not that major, but why did nobody else get one? Sonic's running around in just shoes and gloves. He's probably chilly. Furthermore, several episodes were retooled to focus solely on the comedic question mark escapades of Antoine? The writers also introduced a new family-friendly team member, Dulcie the Dragon, who served as their main mode of transportation. She was never properly introduced and just showed up in an episode one day. Also, they got rid of Cluck the robot chicken, and I like that dumb bird. While the second season stumbled at times, the show excelled when it focused on story. And there were some shining moments, like when Sonic and the Freedom Fighters travel back in time to stop Robotnik's initial invasion. In a novel concept for children's TV at the time, the writers took one overarching story through the entire second season rather than telling 13 self-contained stories. And it all paid off with a truly explosive finale that saw the Freedom Fighters defeat Robotnik and restore peace to the city.
I don't believe this! Sonic, we actually did it!
All did it. In an epic cliffhanger, it's later revealed that Snively double-crossed Robotnik and has teamed up with a secret new supervillain to destroy Sonic once and for all. But since the show was canceled after that episode, fans never got to find out who those glowing red eyes belong to. Years later, writer Ben Hurst revealed that the villain would have been one of their frequent foes, Nagus. He's an evil sorcerer who lives in that void of nothingness and suffers from a terrible case of scoliosis. Go to the chiropractor, guy. Jeez. While the show's audience was large compared to today's standards, it paled in comparison to its direct competitor, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And so, as they do at ABC, the executives pulled the plug, which is a shame because season 3 had a lot of fun surprises in store for viewers. The Freedom Fighters would be christened the Freedom Builders as they rebuilt Robotropolis. Tails was finally gonna join the main team and fight alongside his friends. Snively was going to bring Robotnik back, which would square off with Nagus, King Acorn, and Sonic for the fate of the city. And it would have explored Robotnik and Snively's fascinating backstory, who, it turns out, are actually from planet Earth in the year 2200. While visiting a nearby space colony, an accident sends them to the future, where they return to Earth only to discover that it's actually now the planet Mobius. And all of that was taken away from us thanks to this.
Welcome to one Saturday morning. Relax, kick back. It's Saturday.
Once again, I think Robotnik has the proper reaction.
If I can't have it,
Don't do it!
no one can.
There were many attempts to make a third season, but ABC quickly moved ahead with their popular one Saturday morning animated block that had a much more lighthearted tone. Thankfully, the series was preserved on DVD, and it also inspired a long-running comic book series which continued the stories of many of the characters. While there were only 26 episodes in total, it built a passionate fan base who still consider it to be the best Sonic series to date. Though let's be clear, the bar wasn't that high.
It's trash pickup day.
Mama, look at us!
Oh, my poor little boys!
What was your favorite moment from the show? Let us know in the comments below.